And let's begin section 1.3, working with multimedia, revising and editing your work. So after drafting comes revising and editing. Now, why do we have two different words for what seems like the same thing? Well, I think of it like this. Revising is where all the different pieces of your writing are sort of floating around, and you can move them about. You can change the places of paragraph 1 and paragraph 3. You can take something out of paragraph 2 and put it in paragraph 1. You move the stuff around. Add things, take things out, change big structural bits of your essay. Whereas editing is, you've got the majority of your writing locked down, and now you're switching out phrases or words. Instead of forward, you use up. Instead of hot, you use burning. Like, you switch out words for stronger words, stuff like that. So what this particular section is a deep dive into grammar. So we're going to talk about phrase types. Phrase types in your writing. Varying usage of phrase types makes your writing pop, makes your writing more interesting. So these are the types: a noun phrase, a verb phrase, adjective, adverb, preposition, participle, absolute. Okay, so a noun phrase acts like a noun. It usually is based on a noun, and it's got some things added to it. Like here, the short, lively commercial made me laugh. Commercial is the noun, but these words, the short, lively, all depend on commercial to be useful. So they're part of the phrase. They're part of the noun phrase. The commercial featured several celebrities. Celebrities is a noun, and several is a word describing celebrities. The commercial is also a phrase. We're not concentrating on it, but it's got an article in front of it. It's got the. Gerund. A gerund is a noun that ends in ing, where you take a verb, add ing, and it turns it into a noun. Like fencing is a noun based on to fence. Swimming is a noun based on to swim. I enjoy watching TV. Watching is the gerund, acting as a noun, and TV is a gerund phrase. Composing a symphony. Composing is a noun, and what are you composing? You are composing a symphony. So that's all part of the same phrase. Infinitive phrase. Infinitive means it starts with to, T-O. So you've got to run, to watch, to go, to swim, to run, to run was theirs. To drink is Dr. Pepper. Hello, Dr. Pepper. To type, to mouse over something. To teach, to learn. I think that's enough examples. Okay. Verb phrase. A verb phrase can contain a verb and a linking verb, a helping verb, and it goes along with it. So they're creating a commercial. Creating is the verb. She had been writing, and that's past perfect. She had been writing the book for 10 years. He is looking. Is a helping verb. Oh, linking verb, you say. I would have called it a helping verb. An adjective phrase. I might be moving a little fast. I'm sorry for that. But I don't have any excuse. I'm just moving too fast. I'm sorry. Adjective phrase is describes a noun, right? That's what an adjective does. An adjective describes. So the phrase would act like an adjective on its own. Answer such questions as what kind, which one, and how many. So the talented and successful actor. The talented and successful is describing actor. The ad claimed that this car would make me happy, carefree, and energized. Happy, carefree, and energized is describing me. Adverb ends in ly, right? So to swim quickly, to run steadily, to eat heartily. An adverbial phrase modifies a verb. I drove to the new school. Why is that an adverb? Well, because it describes how you drove. The reporter arrived at the scene, because it describes how she arrived, or where she arrived. Prepositional phrases are a little harder. Prepositional phrases begin with a preposition and modify a noun or verb or the object of another prepositional phrase. So they can modify just about anything, and they can be hard to pinpoint. The commercial for cake mix was one of my favorites as a child. The claims of the laundry detergent commercial were proven to be untrue. That's a long one. Mom found her wallet near the lamp. See, these I confuse with adverbial phrases a lot. Like a lot. So hopefully there won't be many questions about that on the test. Participle phrases, participial, maybe you pronounce it. They act as adjectives or set off by commas and include a present. So yeah, they set off by commas is where you're going to get it. See, my parents holding their suitcases got off the plane. You can also, the thing about a participle phrase is you can take it out of the sentence and the sentence still works. My parents got off the plane. Would still work. My parents were happy living here. Still works. It just adds more information that you wouldn't have had without it. And an absolute phrase is a two-word phrase that consists of a noun and an ing or ed verb. Hands shaking, I step towards the podium. Mind racing, I look for an answer. So I guess it has to go in the front of the sentence. Absolute phrase is not one I was familiar with. I don't know if they developed that in the last 20 years or what, but it's the first time I've heard of absolute phrases. Okay, clause types, independent and dependent clauses. An independent clause works on its own as a thought. It's independent of all the other elements of the sentence, and if you took it out, it would still make sense. A dependent clause is the opposite of it. It requires some information from the sentence to make sense. If I took any of these phrases out, holding their suitcases, right? If I took that out and just said holding their suitcases, well, who's they? And what are they doing? Why do they have suitcases? It doesn't tell me anything. To the new school, right? It's dependent on I drove. Let's see here. Spell check is automatic these days. It's the little red squiggly line. There's also the blue line for grammatical errors. You can't always trust spell check though, because sometimes you'll misspell a word badly enough that you actually have spelled a different word correctly, and so when it senses that word, it doesn't underline it, but you've used the wrong word. All right, back up to the top. Let's look at punctuation. A complete sentence has a subject, a verb, and an ending punctuation. A run-on sentence is two sentences jammed together that don't belong together, that should be separated. A fragment is a part of a sentence that is an incomplete thought. You should be pretty good with punctuation by now. You're all pretty good about this. That's proofreading right there. Let's see. Citations. There we go. For a commercial you see on television, company or store name comes first. So like Coca-Cola. And then title of commercial if known. Network, date you viewed it, television commercial. Listed title of clip for an advertisement seen online. Advertisement date it was posted. Website name, date you viewed it. McDonald. Oh, here's some examples. McDonald's dinner, grandma's Sunday. Okay, so let's call that it for section 1.3, and I'll meet you in 1.4.